So if you'd like to come down to a seated position on your mat, because that's where we're going to start today, you might decide to sit on your cushion here to make it more comfortable for you. If not, just stay down on the glutes. We're going to cross the legs as I have, or if that's not comfortable, you're going to diamond the legs in front of the body. Just rest the hands either on the knees or down next to you on the mats. And we're just going to start with some breathing and some shoulder rolls. So we're going to inhale, rolling the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, rolling them down into the back pockets. Inhale, roll and lift. Exhale, down and back. And just keep that going. Two more. Then let the shoulders sink down, lifting the posture, breathing into the trunk and engaging the abdominal muscles. Bring the left hand to the right knee, slowly turn to look over the back shoulder and take 2 deep breaths. Gradually transition, right hand to the left knee and turn for 2 breaths. Bring the weight back to the centre and bring the hands forward if we can in front of the legs. Inhale, begin rolling down through the spine. Exhale, walk your hands forward as far as you can, folding the body. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, rebuild the spine and engage your core muscles as you do that there. Excellent. Bring your left hand down next to the left hip. Inhale, begin the side bend, and exhale, reach through the fingers. Inhale, lift, change hands, and exhale, reach. 2 more. Excellent, back to the centre. See if we can lengthen and lift our posture even more. Hands onto the knees or the ground. Let's go back to the shoulder rolls. Inhale and exhale. See if we can get any more range of movement this second time. With every breath, engage the core muscles even deeper and think about switching the pelvic floor muscles on. 1 more breath. Now relax the shoulders into the back pockets, left hand to the right knee, lift and turn, 3 breaths. With every breath, see if you can get any further into the twist. Gently transfer, 3 more breaths. To the centre now, hands in front, slowly roll down as you inhale. Exhale and walk the body forward into the stretch. Deep breath in. Exhale now and rebuild 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring the left hand next to the left hip. Inhale, reach the right hand over and exhale. Change. Now on the next one here, hold that stretch, but I'd like to try and open the chest to the ceiling a little bit more, bringing a bit more of a deeper stretch. And if you feel that you can come down onto the elbow, that's another way of deepening that position. 1 more breath. And transfer. So get the side bend first, then see if we can make the chest a bit prouder, almost turning so that the chest comes towards the ceiling. Option of then dropping down to the elbow slowly. 1 more breath. And then back to seated position. Last time on the shoulders, but this time we're going to add the lift and roll with the arms. That's 1 breath. 2, let's get to 5. Good, now left hand to the right knee, into the twist, 3 breaths. And gradually change, core engaged, 3 breaths. Gradually to the center, hands in front, inhale, rolling down, exhale, walking the body out. Inhale, breathe into it. Exhale, use the core and rebuild. Left hand down next to the left hip, side bend. Now straight away we're going to hold it for longer, option of deepening by coming to the elbow and opening the heart to the ceiling. One more breath. Then gradually back up and over. So remember, you can keep it on the hand, you don't have to come to the elbow. It's going to depend on your flexibility at home. One more breath. And use the core and the oblique to lift you back to the centre. Excellent work. Now I'm going to uncross the legs and we're going to lengthen them out in front of the body. I'm going to turn to the side because it'll be easier for you to see what's happening. Now the spine stretch we've worked on quite often. So remember, you can have a soft bend in the knees if you need to, or we can lengthen the legs. Now we're going to start off with the toes pointing away. So we're going to look at some ankle mobility as well here. So this is your starting position, neutral spine. We've lengthened, we've drawn in, and we've placed the hands over the thighs. So inhale, slowly rolling forward again. Exhale, gliding down the legs. Now as you inhale, I want you to flex the feet and reach the hands towards or past the toes. And then exhale, keep the feet flexed as you slowly rebuild. Inhale, point those toes and begin the roll down again. Exhale, glide down the legs. Inhale, flex the feet and reach through your arms. Exhale, keep the feet flexed and rebuild. So really think about the muscles switching on around the spine. One more time, point those toes. Inhale. Exhale, glide. Inhale, flex the feet and reach. Exhale, keep them flexed and gently rebuild. Well done. Now keeping that strong seated position, we're going to bend one leg and draw the foot towards the inner thigh, as far in towards the hip as you feel comfortable. Now we can use the band or tea towel as a prop here, but I'm going to show you the first option without, for those that don't feel comfortable with the prop. So from this seated position, we turn to face the leg, we keep the foot flexed, and we slowly roll down, and we're going to be holding and breathing in this position. Okay, so let's do the first one together, just body weight, just feeling that stretch running up the back of the leg. Activate the front of the thigh, because that will again emphasize the hamstring stretch, and really try to lengthen that leg as much as you can. You might feel a nice stretch through the back as well. One more breath. Then exhale, gradually sit up. So we are going to be holding some of the stretches a bit longer today, looking at our flexibility. Now you can either repeat it body weight, or if you've got a band or tea towel, I want you to place it underneath the foot. Okay? And just keep hold of it. If you've got a band, you might need to wrap it around your hands, but a tea towel will be fairly short, so you can just keep hold of the ends. Now gently use that band to keep the foot flexed and probably bring it a little bit closer to you. Now again, let's slowly fold forward into the stretch, keeping that resistance on the tea towel or the band. Ooh, and hopefully you'll feel an even stronger stretch through the hamstring, which is the back of your thigh. Just keep breathing into it. And if you feel any release, that's when you gently fold a little bit further forward. 2 more breaths. And gently rebuild. Keep the band in place or the tea towel in place. And let's do it one more time from that neutral position, slowly rolling and folding forwards, keeping the front of the thigh active. Two more breaths. And then slowly rebuild. Now keep the prop in place, or if you're doing body weight, that's fine. Sit up nice and strong. What we're going to have here, we're going to point the toes away, so that band is resisting the movement on the ankle, and then we're going to flex the foot. So it's a small movement for the ankle, but it really does help to work on the health of that part of the body. Just inhale and exhale. The core is working to keep you in neutral position. We're not rounding or slumping. We are keeping the posture nice and strong. Two more. Now with the foot, we're going to draw a circle all one way. So this is beneficial if you're doing it without the prop, but if you've got the prop, it just adds a bit more resistance to that movement. Now take it round the other way. Good. Two more. Excellent. Now keep the band or prop where it is, but bring the other leg so the knee is bent and the foot is now grounded in line with the hip. Now for the next movement, the prop is going to give you a bit of assistance, but if you've not got it again, you can do it without. So from neutral here, we're going to slowly inhale, beginning that slow roll back through the spine, core engaged. Then exhale, big squeeze through the trunk, lifting you back to neutral. So we're just looking at that small mobility movement through the spine with the core muscles working as well. Exhale, rebuild all the way up. Slowly does it, rounding back. And then exhale, big squeeze and lift. Two more. Excellent. Now just sit and rest there. For the next part, you can either repeat what we've just done, or we're going to make it a bit more intense by lifting the leg that's elevated with the band, and you're going to use the arms to give that leg some support. Okay, so the band or the tea towel is helping keep the leg elevated. Now let's repeat that slow roll back, keeping that leg stable in the air, and then exhale, back up. Inhale, slowly round, scoop the abdominal muscles in, and exhale, back up. Good, three more. Keep squeezing the thigh. One more. Excellent. Slowly lower that leg. Release the prop to one side. Now lengthen both legs again. Sit up nice and tall and point the toes. So we're going to do 5 more of the spine stretch. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, gliding down. Inhale, flex the feet and reach. Exhale, slowly rebuild the spine. Point the toes. Deep breath in. Let's repeat. On the second breath, flex the feet. 3 more. And as you reach neutral, we're now going to bend the opposite leg and try and draw the heel in. It might be down towards the knee, or you might be able to draw it up towards the inner thigh. From that position, flex the foot, and we're going to do the body weight stretch first. So slowly begin rolling and folding forward, the arms gently reaching down the leg, squeezing the thigh on the front to keep the leg as long as possible, feeling the stretch through the back and the back of the thigh. 2 more breaths. And then gently rebuild. Excellent. Option now to take the prop, pop it underneath the foot. So from this position again, slowly fold forward. Breathing deeply. One more breath. And then slowly rebuild. Keep the prop in place. Prepare. Now one more time. Slowly fold forwards into the stretch. One more breath and rebuild. Maintain your seated position and let's mobilize the ankle, so point the toes away and then flex. Inhale and exhale. Remember, we're not slumping, we're not losing our focus. We're keeping the body in position, shoulders back pocket, lumbar spine lengthened. And then begin the circle with the foot. All one way for now. Good. And the other way. Keep the leg there, but take the opposite leg and place it now so the knee's bent and the foot and knee run in line with the hip. You might need to take the arm out to keep that alignment. Now from here, we're going to do that slow practice of the roll back. Just keep the leg on the floor. So inhale, round it back. Exhale, big squeeze. And all the way up. Again. Two more. Excellent. Now for the next one, you can either keep it as it is or we can lift that leg, supporting with the prop and repeat. Inhale, mobilize the spine and exhale. Three more. Excellent. Gently lower the leg. Bring it forward, take the band off and pop it to one side. Now for the next exercise, we're staying seated, but I'm just moving to the front so that you can see a little bit clearer. I'd like you to lengthen both legs and take them wider than the hips. Doesn't have to be super wide, but definitely wider than the hips. Now from this position, if you feel at all that you're getting pulled forward because perhaps the hips are tight or the hamstrings are tight, you can either bring a soft bend into the knees, allowing you to sit in neutral, or now's a good time to grab your pillow or cushion and place it directly underneath your sit bones, because as it elevates your hips, it may mean that it gives you a better position to allow you to keep your neutral spine. So you might need to have a little play around with it to see what's best for you. Okay, so when you do find your strong neutral, I want you to activate both thighs, bring those toes up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to lengthen the arms because we're going to be looking at the saw exercise. So as you inhale, you're going to begin the trunk twist, and then you're going to exhale, just pausing it in that position. That's all we're doing for now. Inhale back to the center and exhale into that pause and repeat. So I'm going to show you it from the side. Keep going at home just so you can see the position of the trunk. So you're still remaining nice and tall and upright. If it's too much with the arms out, you could cross them over the chest. But now we're going to have an option to progress. So it's going to be inhale, center. But as you exhale into the twist, you're going to fold towards the opposite leg into the saw. Then you'll inhale, strong lift, slow turn. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lift, strong trunk, and exhale. So this is both for the hamstrings, the back, the abdominals, and the shoulders. 4 more deep breaths, and the depth that you reach is completely up to you and your flexibility. So just listen to what your body's telling you. Excellent work. Back to the center. Lower your arms. Bend the knees, bringing them in front of the body. And you do want a little bit of space behind you on the mat. The pillow can be there at the top for your head when we come down. We've got one more stretch first. I'd like you to place both hands behind you, fingers pointing to the back of the mat. Legs are hip width. Now we're going to keep the core engaged here and slowly lift the chest, extending the spine and lowering the head back. And just breathe, trying to fill the rib cage as much as you can, stretching the back and the pectoral muscles at the same time. 2 more breaths. Excellent. And slowly sit up and use the core muscles to lower 1 vertebrae at a time until we reach the mat in a grounded position. Now if you are using a cushion, make sure it's under the head, not the shoulders. We're going to bring the feet a little bit closer to the bottom and think about the hip width alignment. Okay, the arms are just going to place slightly out from the body, shoulders slide down, and let's take the pelvic tilt for the first time today. So inhale, slowly scoot the pelvis towards the belly button, lengthening your spine, brace the core, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, and then exhale, gently rolling back down. And let's just keep that going. So put your mind into those central deep muscles. Two more. Now I'd like you to ground your neutral spine and keep those muscles zipped in. We have that corset acting as our support system around the body. Now the next move, very simple, we've done it many times before, the tabletop lifts. But I really want you to focus on it being slow motion. You're not moving the trunk at all, so it's all about control here. Exhale, peeling one foot slowly off the ground, lifting in slow motion to that tabletop, not coming any closer than fingertips. And then inhale, as slow as you can, and gently place the foot down so the pelvis is level. Exhale, peel the opposite leg off the floor. Feel that work. And inhale, control. You might wish to place your hands over the pelvis as a measure. But squeeze those muscles before you start every time, keeping neutral secure. One of the things I love about Pilates, makes the simplest exercises really challenging. One more breath with this movement. Excellent. Ground the foot, keep the trunk engaged. Hands can either be to the temples or lightly interlocked behind the base of the head. Now we're going to exhale, coming into an abdominal curl up, so it's contracting through the abdominal wall, and we're going to hold it if we can, going back to those tabletops just as slow as last time. Exhale, gosh, I can feel that working, and inhale. If the curl up becomes too much, you can rest the head and shoulders down and just focus solely on the legs. 4 more breaths. Try not to rush, because it's tempting when you forget about the speed. The body kind of just wants to do things really quick, so we're trying to do that slow version to keep all the muscles active for longer. And then lower the neck and shoulders. Bring the hands next to the body once again and take a rest. Now in the rest here, we're going to slowly lower both knees to one side, keeping them hip width apart, and trying to bring both knees as close to the floor as you can. Just breathe, focusing on the legs, the knees coming over, the core remains switched on. You can look away from the knees if you'd like to. And exhale, bring them back to hip width. And then take them over. So we're not doing it with the legs together this time. I want that staggered position on the knees. Exhale back to the centre. And we're going to do that again to the other side. As you come into the deepest point of the stretch this time, I want you to gradually bring the top leg, lift and bring it over the bottom leg, seeing if you can bring it towards the floor, which is going to bring a deeper trunk stretch, and then we'll gently look away. Now bring the neck back to neutral, lift the top leg, gently take it back over, and then bring both legs back to that hip width position, nice and slow. Gradually transfer. And only once you're in the stretch, do we gently bring the top leg up
and over, seeing if we can bring that leg towards the ground, deepening the stretch. Gradually lift the top leg and bring it back over, and then slowly bring both legs back to the hip width position. Take a few pelvic tilts and shoulder movements and just get the body back into your neutral. Bring the hands to the temples or lightly interlock behind the head. Exhale into the abdominal curl up. Hold that curl up if we can, and begin the slow motion single tabletops. Exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you slowly lower. My abdominals are shuddering. Two more breaths. And then slowly lower the neck and shoulders, arms come out to the side. And again, keep the legs hip width and slowly lower them to one side. Trying to bring both knees as close to the floor as you can. Draw the abdominal wall in. Slowly transfer. Breathing deeply. Transfer again. At the deepest points, if you wish, we're going to slowly lift the top leg and guide further over into that twist. Gradually lift the top leg, bring it back, and then exhale, transferring the legs for the last time. With the option of lifting the top leg to take it further into the twist. Lift the top leg and bring it back. Come back to the center. Now as you reach this position, we're going to gradually get the prop again if we can. But if not, you can do this body weight, okay? I'm going to place it underneath the foot again and hold on to the edges. Now if you've got a tea towel, you might have the arms extended, but that's okay as long as you keep your shoulders stable. Now with the opposite leg, I'd like to slowly lower it to the floor and keep the back in neutral. If by lowering the leg you're losing your trunk position, bring a bend back into it, okay? Just ensure that you can maintain neutral, because that's very important. Now lengthen the lifted leg, okay? And we're going to use the band just as assistance as we draw our single leg circle. So if you're using a prop, you may find that you can take a little bit more range of movements because we have that added security of the band supporting the weight of the leg. I need you to connect the weight of the leg to the core and focus on maintenance with your neutral spine. Excellent movement for the hip. Now slowly change direction on the leg. Then bring the leg back up over the hip. And I want you to really guide the toes towards your chest. Squeeze the thigh and just hold the hamstring stretch. You might need to just gently pull on the prop a little bit more to bring that leg nice and close. Now if you have, whichever leg you have elevated, we're now going to slowly guide it across the opposite side of the body, just until you feel the stretch deepen along the back of the leg. I only had to move about 1 inch and I can really feel it. And just breathe. Two more breaths. Then gradually take the leg out, opening the hip just as far as you feel comfortable, stretching out the inner thigh. Keep the opposite side grounded. One more breath and guide back up. Excellent. Bring a soft bend into that knee, lift the opposite leg and change the feet. So ground first, lengthen that leg into the band, find neutral, and then we have the option of lengthening that leg or the leg down. So now when you're ready, let's begin the one leg circle. And take it the other way. Then bring the leg over the hip. Bring the toes towards the chest, lengthen the thigh, and breathe into the hamstring stretch here. Gently guide the leg towards the opposite side of the body, and then breathe and hold. When you feel the stretch deepen. Now gradually take the leg out, slowly opening the hip as far as you feel comfortable. Two more breaths. Then gradually back, up and over. Excellent. Bring a soft bend into the knee. Change the legs again for me. Now for this next stretch, you can keep a soft bend in the elevated leg, but we are going to ground the other side. Now this time we're going to slowly guide the leg across the body, but take it as far as you feel you can towards the floor. Now the stretch with this one is going to be running along the IT band, which kind of runs on the outside here of the leg, and it connects all the way up. Okay, so you might feel a stretch higher, you might feel it lower, you might feel it in the back, because the body, all the mechanics connect to one another. But this band just allows us, or the prop allows us to have the weight of the leg. If you don't have the band, just try it body weight with your arms out to give you some more support. One more breath. Then gradually guide back over. Remember, you can have that soft bend in the leg. It doesn't need to be completely extended. Let's change when you're ready. Grounding the opposite leg and slowly bringing the leg across the body as far as you feel comfortable until you can feel that stretch. Two more breaths. Then gradually back to the center. Bend the knee and just take the prop and place it to the side. Bend both knees now, grounding the feet. Reassess your neutral. Let's lift and cross one ankle over the opposite thigh. Angle the knee away from the body, okay? Exhale and lift the legs, and we've got the glute stretch here. Now I can already feel the stretch without using my hands, so I'm just going to leave it as the legs. But if you did want to reach and guide in closer, then that is an option. You might also feel a stretch for the hip as that knee opens out to the side. Two more breaths. And gently release. Change the legs. Core engaged because you're still maintaining neutral. Angle that knee away and then slowly lift. Breathing into it. Two more breaths. And gently release. Uncross the legs. Lengthen now, full body stretch. Reach through the hands and the toes. Lengthening the spine as much as you can. Lift the rib cage and just extend slightly through the back as you breathe. Two more breaths here. Lift one knee now and hug it to the chest as close as you can, pressing the other leg to the floor. Change. And release. Now we're going to come into some relaxation now. You can either lie in corpse pose, palms to the ceiling with the legs long, or if you want to continue stretching a little bit more, we're going to gently open the knees out with the feet together and allow the legs to relax there as we have the arms rested and the palms up to the ceiling. Make sure your head and neck is comfortable, so this is where the cushion might come into play if you're not using it already. Relax your body here. Every time you breathe, take a deep breath in through the nose, feeling the ribcage expand, and then exhale out through your mouth, relaxing more of the body, getting rid of any negative thoughts or stress. We're just allowing ourselves this time to listen to our breathing and just switch off from the world. Take one more deep breath. Then gradually open your eyes, guiding the knees back to the center. Bring them into the body and hug your arms around the knees. Take a gentle rock side to side. Now bring your hands behind the thighs. Take a deep breath in and exhale.
Use the legs to rock you up to seated position. Well done everyone, that's the end of today's class. I hope you've enjoyed the variation that we've had today and that you feel really well stretched out. We focused a lot on the lower body flexibility and your back and trunk flexibility today. So I'm hoping that you'll feel fantastic for the rest of the day and hopefully the rest of the week as well. Let me know how you found the class and I will see you soon. Thank you.